What's up guys, Syiler here, and a lot of you have been asking me to do more like facey videos and bring back the old WoW news. I used to do a lot of WoW news and things like that, so why not bring both back? So we're going to be talking about some things today. A main thing, I'm a little bit late to the punch, but the main thing I want to talk about is the flexible raiding. So if you've been in that outside world thing with the sun and the burning, then you've been doing it wrong and you've missed out on flexible raiding. So essentially what flexible raiding is it's a new tier of raiding. So we've got LFR at the moment, we've got normal and heroic. We're going to be wedging in a new one, and we've got LFR, flexible, normal and heroic. So LFR, flexible and normal / heroic will all have separate lockouts. So in 1 week I could do an LFR full clear, flexible full clear, and a normal / heroic full clear. So that's 3 different raid modes that we can do and get gear from. It will have a higher item level than LFR will, so you know it's going to be upgraded gear. It's definitely going to be worth doing for gearing your main and even your ults. And the biggest feature is it's called flexible. It means you can have between 10 and 20. They're thinking of making it 8, but we'll say 10 for now. Between 10 and 25 people. So that means you can have 10. You can have 15, 20, 25, 13, 17, any number in between 10 and 25 you can have. So for example, if I'm in there with my guild 10 man, and Steve logs on, bloody Steve, late. It's like, what's up guys, Steve here, he's a crazy guy. We can get him in, and the raid will upgrade to 11 people, the HP will scale, the damage will scale a little bit, and it'll change for 11 people. And there we go, Steve can raid and get some gear. And I really like that. Basically, they've done what we've wanted. Blizzard have done a really good job this expansion of doing what we want and listening. And even though people bitch and complain and say all this mad crap, Blizzard have literally given us what we've wanted this whole expansion. Anything we've asked for, bitched about, said, oh, this is removed from the game, we want this back. Vanilla for the win. I remember when the game was good. They've gone, oh, there you go. There you go. Reap what you sow, but there you go. Like, for example, people complain the game was easy. So the beginning of this expansion was not easy. Leveling was not easy. It was a long grind. Not amazing long, but it was long. And then dailies and things like that. You had to grind your dailies to unlock your VP. You had to unlock justice vendors. You had to unlock the justice gear. You had to unlock your Valor gear. And then you had to do your dailies to get your Valor. It was tedious. I hated it. I really did. I didn't want that kind of grind, but people bitched for it and they got that. And then they realized, okay, maybe you don't really want that, and they scaled it down a little bit, which is good. But like Brawler's Guild, we've asked for things like that. There's loads of things. There's so many things that they've done this expansion that we've asked for, that even though people don't want it now, that they've done a really good job delivering it. And this is one of those things. People want a difference between 10 and 25 man lockouts like it used to be in ICC, in Wrath. You could do 25 man ICC with your guild, and then with some friends or off nights you could go raid 10 man, get some additional loot. It was different items, like they weren't the same items, lower scaled. It was different items completely, but it was lower item level, and there was still some pretty good pieces in there. And it was just something you could do casually, or 10 man. It was easier. It was a lot easier than 25 man, but it gave you that in between of gear, and it gave you another opportunity of getting gear. So and people love that. People like the separate lockouts. And now that there's a lot less 25 man guilds out there, 25 man has become a lot harder to run and manage. So they don't want to belittle 10 man guilds. They don't want to be like, well, we don't see 10 man as anything, so we're going to scale it down and reward 25 man. They do need to give some form of reward to 25 man. I like the Thunderforge, that Thunderforge is there a lot more for 25 than it is for 10. That's it's cool. It does give 25 man more of a benefit, but they don't want to kind of step on 10 man by giving them separate lockouts. So instead, they've added a new tier of raiding, which is essentially all 10 man. It's easier, lower item level than normal raiding, and it's something you can do casually. There we go, we've got what we wanted. Even though we might not notice it, we've been given what we wanted. And it's great. the fact that my guild, for example, we have nights where people just don't show up. All of a sudden, progression night comes along and everyone's like, oh, I've been shot in the head. Wouldn't that mean you're dead? No, it's just for a day until we do clear again. Like, oh, okay, alright then. And we end up not having enough people to raid, so flexible raiding would be a great opportunity for us to go, well, we've got 20 people online tonight, let's go do flexible raiding, let's get some extra gear in. You know, let's not cancel a raid because this 5 idiots didn't want to show up for a progression and kick them from the guild and find replacements. So that's going to be great. The loot, how loot's going to work is similar to LFR. You know, you're going to go in, you're going to kill a boss, there's going to be no loot on the boss, instead you're going to get that little box that'll pop up and be like, gold! So that's going to be great. We're going to have the gold box back, but it's for the best, because if they did it the normal way where loot drops off the boss, first of all, guilds would probably introduce like the standard systems for giving out loot. Gold DKP runs would be introduced for flexible raiding, which they don't want, and it would also mean it'd be hard to scale. For example, if you take 10 people and get 4 pieces, then where's the cutoff point for the extra piece of loot? So for example, if it's 16 people gives you 5 pieces of loot, then you're just going to take the minimum needed to get that extra amount of loot. You know, if you take 17, you don't need that 17, you'll just take 16. And then it makes it less about, like, it brings in more of a min-maxing element to it, which they don't want. So to do LFR loot, you can bring between 10, 20, you know, whatever, it doesn't make any difference. So there's that, I like that. I'm glad they've gone down that route instead of just putting loot on the boss, it makes sense. It's also going to be a great thing for open raid and gearing casuals, alts, trials, whatever, and testing trials, because it can be done cross-realm. So if you've never heard of open raid before, once again, you're doing it wrong. But for open raid is a site where you can basically log in, sign up for a Firelands run, go do heroic Firelands if you've never done it before, go do challenge modes. Not all groups will accept you, but it gives you that opportunity to do things that you wouldn't normally be able to do on your server because of the cross-realm raiding. And flexible raiding is going to be the same. You can do it cross-realm. You can do it with people from Outland to Stormscale. You know, as long as it's on the same faction, obviously you can do it regardless of what realm. So that's going to mean open raid becomes a lot more beneficial. If someone applies to your guild from a different realm, test them out in flexible if you're not too sure. Gearing alts is going to be great. You can sign your alts up to, if there's no one doing it on your guild, they've already done it, sign up to open raid or look for a plug-in trade. And there you go. You look on the forums or something. I'm sure there'll be groups going all the time. So that's going to be really awesome. I mean, so far there's not much wrong with the system. It's a great change. The people are saying it's applying to casuals more, but it's not, because it's giving people who raid hard as well a more chilled approach. You know, I don't want to go and do like hardcore raiding all the time. I'd like to just chill and have a laugh and run for a normal raid that isn't sort of not full of 25 people in LFR that I have no idea who they are. You know, they're still my friends or people that I know or stuff. And then we can just have a laugh and chill out. There's no, we must kill this boss. You know, it's, oh, if we wipe on this boss, we don't clear it, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not proper progression. It's something we can just have a laugh in. So that's going to be cool. And the wings are going to open similar to LFR, so it's not all going to open at once. It's going to slowly come in chunks. It will open quicker than LFR though, so you will see the chunks quicker than you would in LFR. And you can do, this is an interesting one, you can do raid achievements in flexible raiding. So you'll be able to do like the, say for example, say for example, the next raid has a bat mount, even though we've just got the bat mount from the Siege of Orgrimmar raid. You know, you do all the achievements, you get a bat mount. You'll be able to do those achievements in flexible raiding. So if you, this is great for me, if you clear out the raiding normal, you know, you're progressing, you don't want to be doing those achievements on normal. You're trying to kill all the bosses so you can progress on heroic. You don't really get a chance to do those achievements. So on off nights, go do the achievements on flexible raiding, and then it's double dipping. You're doing the achievements on flexible, you're doing the heroic achievements on progression. You'll get the mount quicker. You'll actually have a chance of getting the mount, because not many guilds get that chance. I know pretty much every guild I'm in doesn't clear the tier quick enough to have those nights where we're like, well, we've fully cleared it, everyone's fully heroic geared, let's do the achievements. You know, it doesn't happen often enough, because the tiers really, really, you know, to fully clear them, not many guilds do it in time, and the guilds that do it in time barely make it. They don't really have enough sort of time to be like, oof, good job guys, we can just chill out now. Like, no, we still need to be killing those bosses for that trinket we all need or whatever. So there's that. Now, some of the things that were mentioned is that the old raids can be done with flexible, but not in 5.4. It's something they're looking at. I'm not too sure what they mean by that. Maybe the thinking of bringing back like BT or something like that on flexible. Imagine that. Imagine going back and doing BT or Karazhan as like a progression raid. I wouldn't even mind, like, even if it just give transmog, like new transmog or something, or some, I don't know, even just Valor or something would be cool. You know, just gives you something fun to do. It doesn't have to give loot. I'd like to go do BT just for the walls of it. If it was, you know, progression instead of me just being able to run through like an idiot and solo it. Flexible raiding is still going to be challenging. It's going to be harder than LFR and not as hard as normal. So it's still going to be like a progression raiding for some guilds. Some guilds that can't quite do normal. There's guilds out there. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Some players are just better than others naturally. And it'll give them that opportunity to actually see the raid and progress through it. LFR isn't really progressing. LFR is a Zerg. But this flexible raiding is actually going to be some form of challenge. You know, you're going to have to understand the tactics. You're going to have to bring the proper comp. And you're going to have to all be paying attention and doing the fights properly for those who progress on it anyway. Normal, like, heroic geared players will just stomp through it because it's lower than normal. You stomp through normals once you're heroic geared. But for those progressing through it, it will still be a challenge. So it'll still feel like an achievement that you've cleared the raid. So that's cool. Now down to the issues that I've got with the raid. I had another one that I cannot remember, but basically the issues I have with this system is, first of all, the way they currently do item level is, for example, TOT LFR is higher, well, 2 item level lower than Heart of Fear Heroic. So it's just as good as previous tier Heroic gear. Now if they keep with that, then that means flexible raiding gear will be higher than Heroic TOT, making it an upgrade for everyone. You know, it's higher item level, so all those pieces are going to be an upgrade for everyone. And that then brings in the thing of making it mandatory. Now, people always say this, and it's like, oh, but no one's Blizzard hasn't got a gun to your head forcing you to do it, but there's that, like, psychological need to do it, because you're shooting yourself in the foot if you don't actually do it. If you don't go clear the raid on flexible, and you need upgrades, then you're not doing it right. You're not progressing. You're not making the most out of your character. There's free loot, bruv, and you're just leaving it alone. So I probably won't do it because I'm lazy. I'll probably do it every once in a while. But for those who really put their effort into the character, you know, playing all day every day just to get that like 1 item level upgrade, will want to do this. And my guild, EU guild, reads 4 days a week. So we're going to be doing 4 days of normal progression, and then some people will need to fit in the flexible raiding. So it's going to be a 5th day of raiding, because it's not going to be quick to clear. It's going to take a few hours. You know, it's going to be something people need to invest a couple of hours into. It's not just going to be like LFR where you can kind of do it in half an hour. It's actually going to take some time to do. So that's my main issue with this system. That's really my only issue, but it's my main issue is that doing things like that will then cause guilds to have to fit this into their raiding rotation, because it's loot at the end of the day. It's loot, especially if they actually make it higher than TOT Heroic, and they keep with the current system, which I'd imagine they will, because otherwise LFR will become so obsolete it won't even be fun. It'll be too low for it to be viable, kind of thing. But maybe they might. I don't know. Not sure how they could manage that. But anyway, so it's, you know, it's going to be better than current tier Heroic, which is a little bit meh. But overall, really love this system. I mean, the benefits, the amount of benefits this is going to bring easily outweighs the couple of negatives that the system's got. There's probably more negatives. That I had one more that I cannot think of for the life of me now. I pretty much jotted all my information down, but there's one pretty big negative that I cannot remember now, that I didn't jot down. I had it in my head before I started recording this, and now I forgot. But let me know in the comments below what you actually think of the system. Good, bad? After you've listened to this, has it changed your mind on the actual system? Does it make you feel more like, I understand it now, it's not that bad? or does it make you actually hate the system? You're like, oh, this is stupid. I'm gonna write a ticket. So that's that change. There were a couple of things on Ghost Scroller's Twitter about it, but I've pretty much covered them. One is making it 8-man minimum, and there's a couple of tweets about 40-man. Not too sure what that's about. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the Titan Runestones. If you're unfamiliar with this, last part of the legendary quest chain for your 600 item level cloak. Big cloak. It's got 3 sets of stats on it. So for a Ret Paladin, it's got crit, mastery, and haste. It's got all those stats. It's got like a crazy amount of strength. It's beautiful. Now to get that, you have to get these Titan Runestones, which you can only get from the last half of TOT. They only drop from the last half of the bosses, and most guilds are progressing on the earlier heroic bosses. You know, the first 6. So most guilds don't actually see the last 6. By the time the end of the raid comes, you've not really got enough time to fully clear it. You'll maybe get 2-3 bosses done from the last sort of half, but not many people actually do a full clear on normal, just because they'd rather spend more time progressing. It's the way you do it. So the drop rate was kind of low as well. Like, a lot of people were saying they were doing it every week, but they're just not getting the Titan Runestone drops. If it dropped from any boss, maybe even if it's on heroic, if it dropped from any boss on heroic, that'd work. But their solution is that Lei Shen will be guaranteed to drop one. So anyone with the quest, if you kill Lei Shen, you will get one. Now this can only be done on 1 difficulty per week. So if you do it on LFR, you'll get one. If you do it on normal, you'll get one. But you can only get one. Sorry, I explained that badly. If you do it on LFR and get one, you cannot get it on normal or heroic. If you get one on normal or heroic, you cannot get one in LFR. You can only get 1 per week from Lei Shen guaranteed. Kill the other bosses, have a chance, but 1 per week guaranteed. So you can't just kill normal mode Lei Shen, go straight into LFR, kill him again and get 2. That's not how it's going to work. But it will give you that, you know, if you're a bit peed about the RNG, at least you'll know guaranteed in X amount of weeks you will get 1 per week until you've finished. So in X weeks you'll be done. So there you go. Hopefully you've enjoyed these. Let me know if there's some form of thing that you want me to talk about in the future. Let me know if you like these. Stuff like that. 5.4 PTR will be very soon. We'll probably see the raid, the actual release, in the end of August if it follows current suit. It's been about 6 months for each tier, and we're already 4 months in now, which is crazy. And 5.4 PTR, if they follow with this expansion, should be in a week or 2. I really wouldn't be surprised if they release early and it's this week, like tomorrow. I really wouldn't be surprised at that. So thanks for watching, guys. Look out for more videos coming soon. Don't forget to make this a bit of a discussion. We all like discussions. Look out for more videos coming soon. See ya.